have you ever, welcome, first of all, have you ever stayed in something way longer than you should have simply because you already paid for it? Maybe that's a bad investment, a bad partnership, kept a bad employee, stayed at a bad event, maybe even utilized a bad strategy, not because it was working, but because you didn't want to admit what you had already spent was gone.
Today we're going to talk about one of the most expensive mistakes that entrepreneurs make. Now, it's called the sunk cost fallacy.
Ooh, the SCF?
I know. It sounds super fancy pants, but it's basically just like the belief that you've already invested money. Like, you invested money, you invested time or effort into something. So because you did it, you keep investing, right? Every piece of evidence says that you should stop.
Yes, and this week, because we like to tell stories from experiences we've had, we got a reminder of that a very expensive reminder, yes, of that lesson, because we paid a significant sponsorship fee to be at an event, and what happened next completely changed how we think about opportunity.
And maybe not even change, just reinforce, I think, because we're always looking at it that way. And the crazy part is, walking away from that event turned out to be the best decision that we made all week.
So excited for our next guest. They speak around the country to sold-out crowds.
They build multiple seven-figure businesses.
Empower business owners to scale to 6 and 7 figures.
Thank you to you, because you've turned me into a social media whore.
Kim Walsh-Field has created one of the fastest growing companies in America and has generated over $1 billion for her clients.
Jess Warney is a television icon who has starred in commercials, 7 Broadway shows, and now is bringing over 20 years of entertainment experience to entrepreneurs all over the world.
Together, they've created a winning formula that has business owners buzzing about their impact and their income.
A 6-figure launch. Super duper exciting.
Thank you. I now have 606 qualified people in LinkedIn, and it is literally bringing me about 10 to 20 qualified clients a day. I thank you guys for your beautiful program because it's working. It's just working right out of the gate.
We still landed 2 companies that resulted in contracts for $90,000.
It has really changed the way I invest, the way we do deals with companies, the way we change our strategies for customer acquisition. I'm out there, and you know that, and you're part of that success.
I can't say enough good things about this ROI-focused dynamic duo.
Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet. Welcome Justin Guarini and Kim Walsh-Field.
So let me tell you the story. We paid a significant sponsorship fee to be at an event last week. Now, it was $15,000, okay, for a 2-day event, because the event organizers told us there were going to be 500 people that made $5 million or more a year. And for us, that's our right fit market, right?
Yeah, and just go ahead in the chat right now if you're watching this afterwards. We'll tell you what's happening in the chat. Just give a guess as to how many people were there. I'm going to open up the chat right now.
How many people out of the 500 do you think were there?
Out of the 500, how many people do you think actually showed up? Greg says 20. Okay. Wait. Let's see if there are any more guesses.
I'm going to tell them more about it while they're guessing, okay? Because we were told what the deliverables would be like. We were told what the opportunity were like. And most entrepreneurs, we made a decision based on those promises.
Yeah,
right?
because sponsorships are investments.
Yeah, so you invest because you expect exposure, you expect opportunity, you expect access, you expect a return. And that's perfectly reasonable.
It truly is. So, Greg says 20. Oh, yeah, so Cindy already knows the story. But 20 is actually a lot closer than what a lot of people guess.
Yeah. So there were 14. Out of the 467 people we were told that were attending. First off, so 500 we brought in. Then I was told 467. When we got there, it became very clear that the reality did not match the scenario, right? Like, attendance was 14 people, and we're supposed to go on stage, and there are no more than 14 people in the room. The visibility wasn't there. Several things that promised simply didn't happen. Our name was supposed to be on the billboard. It was to have a printed material. There were 20 vendors who all spent a lot of money, but there was no attendance. And in that moment, we had a choice to make. We could just sit there all day because we had already paid for the experience, or we could acknowledge the reality.
And here's where most people get stuck. Because once you've written the check, your brain starts playing tricks on you.
Yeah.
It's like you tell yourself, we should stay.
Yeah.
Well, come on. We already paid for this. We need to get our money's worth. We've already invested way too much. But none of those statements have to do with whether staying creates value. They're just emotional reactions to a past decision.
Exactly. Like the money was already spent. The question wasn't whether or not the investment had been made, right? The question becomes this. What's the highest and best use of my time right now? Yeah. And when we looked around the room, that answer became obvious. Staying wasn't creating opportunity. Leaving might.
Yeah, and that's the decision. Most entrepreneurs evaluate decisions based on what they've already spent. Successful entrepreneurs evaluate decisions based on what creates the greatest return from this moment forward. And it's counterintuitive because the past is gone, but the future is still negotiable.
So we left, right? and I'm the person who like rallied all the other sponsors to leave too.
It was amazing.
I'm that human. I was like, the emperor has no clothes on, everyone. We need to talk about that.
The emperor has no clothes, which I think is one of the funniest lines of the whole trip. But like, and look, something that you taught me is that I cannot be so concerned about someone else's feelings that I put their feelings before what's right. The right thing to do. We had made a significant investment in being there. Yeah. I mean, this was really, really important. And so the fact that they would do that and think that they could get away with that. It's just so amazing that you're someone who not only was like, we got to get out of here, but you were going up and talking to me like, hey, wait a minute, is this weird to you? I don't know, it's weird to you. And we found out that most, if not all of the vendors there had never been there before. So it was a whole
So it was like it reminded me of like a fire festival. Like everyone was tricked into coming. And so we said, okay, we could either, the guy was texting me that was the organizer and he was saying, just wait till the end of today to break down your booth at first. I was like, okay. I was like, wait a second. You've completely broken your trust with me. You didn't deliver on anything you said. It wasn't just us. We had actually had a team member fly there too. I was never going to get back the flights, the hotel, the time. Nope. But we decided in that moment, even though that money was gone, our time was worth more, right? And what happened next was the interesting part. We spent the rest of the day meeting with clients who were nearby and a partner that happened to be in town, like with friends, with business owners, people we genuinely wanted to spend time with.
Yeah, and there was no stage for any of this.
Right.
No badge, no sponsorship package, no event agenda, just conversations. Yeah. Real conversations, and the kind that rarely happen when everybody's running around, rushing between breakout sessions.
Yeah, and those conversations ended up creating more opportunities than the event itself.
Say it again.
And more opportunities than the event itself. So we got potential partnerships, client discussions, future collaborations, ideas, introductions, relationships, a potential client that is very dreamy for me, dream wish list. And all of that happened because of us deciding our time was worth more than the investment we had made ahead of time.
Yeah, and us freeing up that time allowed those other opportunities to come in. And originally we were just going to sit and have lunch with a really amazing influencer who I've never met, and we've never met in person, but we've like always DM'd, and they were like, hey, why don't we just grab like a little drink down at the bar? We're like, okay, great. And then we started talking and we connect, and like all of us are there, and they're like, let's keep this going. And so we went out, we had a bomb dinner. It was amazing, and it just led and is leading to some really amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was when the lesson really hit us. The sponsorship fee wasn't the biggest cost. The biggest cost would have been spending the rest of the day protecting our ego and really protecting the ego of the people who
put together the event.
Which they should have never done. Because sometimes we stay in situations not because they're valuable, but because leaving feels hard on our ego because we feel like we're admitting a mistake.
Yeah, that's such an important point. Like entrepreneurs, they waste years trying to justify decisions they've already made. They stay in bad partnerships. They stay in bad investments. They stay in failing projects. They stay in toxic relationships. They stay in underperforming events. Not because those things are producing results, but because they're trying to validate the money they've already spent.
Yeah, and the universe, the problem is the universe doesn't care what you've already spent. However you want to see it, however you want to play it. Of course, we talk about God like it is... No one cares. The market doesn't care. Your future doesn't care. The only question that matters is what decision creates the most value from this moment forward. I'm going to say it again. What decision that you know on some level you need to make today creates the most value from this moment forward?
Now, to be clear, we're going to pursue getting our money back because agreements matter. Like, what people put in writing matter. Promises matter. Accountability matters. Like, these are separate conversations. But the lesson isn't about the refund. The lesson is about recognizing when continuing to invest your time no longer serves you.
Yes, because time, unlike money, is not a renewable resource. It's way more valuable. You can earn money back. You can't earn back that wasted time. You can't earn back a wasted year. You can't earn back a wasted day. You can't earn back a wasted decade.
And honestly, I think a lot of people listening need to hear this, right? Like, there's probably something in your life right now you're holding on to because you've already invested. Now, if you invested in it and the reason why it hasn't ROI'd for you is because you haven't taken the action you need to take, well, that's a different story. Like, take the action. Yeah. If it's on you, the reason why it hasn't ROI'd, go and do the thing that you need to do to get the ROI out of it, right? We've had courses that have never been opened, books that have never been read, programs that never been implemented. That's opportunity cost just waiting for you right now to get the most out of it. But maybe it's a business strategy you have, or maybe it's a marketing channel, or maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a partnership, an event, an idea. The question isn't what have I already spent? The question is, if I were making this decision today, knowing what I know now, would I choose it again?
Sit with that for a second. If I were making this decision today, knowing what I know now, would I choose it again? Yeah, that question changes everything because it forces you to stop looking backward and to start looking forward.
So here's the challenge. Identify one thing in your business or life when you're continuing to invest primarily because of what you've already invested. Then ask yourself, what action do I need to take today to get the highest ROI from this experience? Is it investing my time to make it happen? Is it taking the next step in order to make it return? Or is it leaving this opportunity and to move on to something else? Maybe it's your time to walk away. Maybe it's your time to take a different action. Because your future is worth more than your pride. Your energy is worth more than proving a point. And your time is worth more than protecting a bad decision.
Yeah, the most successful entrepreneurs aren't the people who never make mistakes. Let that go. They're the people who stop making the same mistake twice.
Yeah, and sometimes the smartest business move you can make is leaving the room. It was quite the experience, quite the opportunity. I do not know what's going to happen to this guy afterwards. He's in a lot of the high-level entrepreneurial groups that I'm in, and if he doesn't make it right for us, then you will know his name well.
Yeah, and what
because there was something not right. And he said specifically, not that he'd given this many tickets away, he said he sold. And they were trying to make it like it was bad weather and an accident at first, and we're like, no.
They're making a lot of excuses. However, something else that comes from taking that action, being willing to step away, that we really didn't touch here, but it was a big factor. We touched on it, but was a big factor is that you're actually inspiring the people around you to do the same. And I loved how you took that, and when we made the decision, like, we're out of here, and it wasn't just we're out of here and we're going to walk out of the room. We're breaking down our entire setup. The booth is going away. Yeah. Every single thing that signifies we are in the room, that we are a presence, that we are there, is leaving. And when we started to do that, everyone else was like, whoa, yeah, we don't need to be here. Why are we here? I'm going to see if I can get flights. It created this chain effect of everyone being empowered to say, we are worth more than this. Our team deserves more than this. We're going to stop hemorrhaging cash, if that's what it took to get out there. And we're going to make a better choice. And so I hope the other people who were there also had opportunities come up, if nothing else, to stop the bleeding.
That is my personality. It's not by accident that, it's the softball game that I went to that my daughter's team ended up getting dissolved from because I noticed the way the coach was talking to other parents, and I asked them about it, and it wasn't okay. It was a time where there's been so many things that I'm like, hey guys, or even my daughter's cheerleading squad, they said, if you have a fever, you're still supposed to come to practice. I was like, this doesn't seem right. So I am that person, and that's okay. That's just who I am in my personality, because I think calling those things out mattered. But reality is like what I want to separate is like our responsibility versus the relationship's responsibility, because there's two different sides to this, and I think this is really important. If we had gone to that event and if they had the people that they promised there, but we didn't prepare for the experience. So like, let's say we had the wrong offer. Let's say we didn't have the right materials at our booth. Let's say we didn't prep for our stage talk and we didn't get ROI from it. That would be on us. So we're always going to evaluate the situation to say who owns the results of this relationship, because this matters for the vendors that we hire, the times where we are the vendor, like if we're a consultant or advisor for someone. We always want to look at that way, because I will tell you, there's something interesting our brain will do. It will always make the other person the responsible party for the thing that didn't go wrong, that went wrong. It'll make us responsible for when it goes right, and it'll make them responsible for when it goes wrong. And that's our brain protecting us, which is really good, which is wonderful, because if we walk around all day thinking we cause all the bad things and none of the good things, that's a whole nother problem we need to work on.
Right.
So our brain does that to protect us. But what I always do is take emotion out of the scenario. So literally, in writing, what did they promise? In writing, then take it, what did they deliver? And we were able to go line by line, seeing what they had promised, that they didn't deliver any of it, like any of it. It was line by line by line by line. It's a really good thing to do in your mindset, because especially when you're questioning, should I continue to do this or not? See what was promised versus what's delivered in the most factual. I say take off the judgy robe and put on the scientist, like as fact-based as you can, like a scientist would do. What can we take from this to make that decision? And once it's clear in black and white, that gives you your opportunity to move forward. Now, we're going to get our money back because that's how we roll. But that being said, even if we'd sat there like, I don't know if we're getting money back or not, still sitting there would have been the biggest opportunity cost, because we wouldn't have been able to have an incredible, meaningful experience with one of our elite clients who we'd never met in person before. That will strengthen that relationship, and we couldn't have brought in, which probably will amount to $500,000 in business to our company because of the conversations that we had. So
yeah, and it would have been an approval not just of what they were doing, which obviously was unethical, but it would be a signal to ourselves in the future that we deserve that kind of treatment, or we're willing to tolerate that kind of treatment. That's a better way of putting it. And the people who are extremely successful are very, very clear about what they're willing to tolerate and what they're not willing to tolerate.
Yeah, I had this years ago with another really well-known speaker coach, Pete Vargas, and paid him $60,000 to get us booked on stages, and it didn't work. And they kept promising every month, we're going to do, we're going to do, we're going to do, we're going to do. And it never happened, and I could have just kept going with the promises. I'm like, I'm never going to get this money back. Didn't get the money back, never going to get the money back. But I was like, just continuing it would have been the problem. And so we decided to end it. And I see Barbara commented on one that something didn't work for her. Same thing with Cindy. Yeah, we've gone through it, and it's okay, and it's good. It's a good reminder of why we do things differently in the next step. But if you have any questions at all about this, go ahead and put them in the chat. Go ahead and put them in the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Our member only call for our Powerful Professionals coaching community is at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I just tried a free fund for something and did not get it, said Cindy. Yeah, that's why you go to your credit card company and do a chargeback. Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that. So you can ask, and then that's what happens. But only if, this is the ethical side, only if when you make that list of things, this is what they promised and this is what they didn't deliver, and then you go to them directly and talk to them about it, that's when it's time to use the authorities that can protect and serve you. So there you have it. All right, everyone. Well, wonderful to be with you today on this Powerful Professionals Network live call. We'll see our members tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. See you then.